Everyone, your friendly neighborhood cat is back with another Sims 4 house building video. Today, I guess there's a couple updates to my channel. I'm no longer going to do like a little intro. It's just gonna go right into the video. I just don't feel the need of putting an intro in. It's just extra work that's not really necessary. And also it's kind of weird that I'm jumping into this video, jumping back into my channel with 30-minute video, because normally I don't like doing 30-minute videos, but I actually had a lot of fun doing this one. Now, I've been in a lull. Like, I'm one of those Sims players. Now, you guys should comment below to tell me what kind of Sims player you are, but I'm the type that I will do a build and I'll have so much fun and I'll just keep building and almost get like overwhelmed with building, like just so much building going on, and then I'll just stop. Like for months. Like I just like literally binge it so hard and then I just stop playing it. And I feel like that's how it's been for the last like 6 months. But I don't want to jinx it, so like knock on wood. But I feel like, I don't know, I just kind of am back in the groove of it. I feel like I get into those habits where I just give up on a build. Like I don't like how it's turning out, so I just give up on it. And this one I just stuck around for the entire thing and made sure that I had finished it. But I love the front yard, I love the backyard, and I had a theme with, well, not necessarily a theme, but I had what I wanted to go for with this one. And obviously I wanted like a colonial style. Would this be considered colonial? I'd either consider it like colonial or like mansion, as well as a plantain. Not a plantain. A plantain is a banana. A plantation house, kind of inspired by that. But yeah, so I don't know, I just like felt like I wanted to do that, and then I just kind of drew inspiration from what the people living in the house were like. So I just pictured them being a very wealthy family, definitely well off, like the father being a banker or something like that, and maybe like owning a bank or something. Definitely super wealthy. And I was thinking that the father actually was adopted by the original family that owned this house, and they just kind of found a baby on their doorstep. I know that kind of sounds like kind of cliche and cheesy, but it turns out the family that adopted him is actually vampires, which will play into the build a little bit later. And he finds a wife, gets married, everything, and of course is none the wiser about his heritage of being a vampire. Well, his adopted family, or the family that adopted him, being vampires. So I did pay homage to that a bit. I think it's like the first rooms that I actually start working on in this build. And two, of course, he like goes off and has his own family, and he's not technically a vampire because he was just kind of found and adopted by this family, but that's kind of the heritage of this house. I wanted it to have like a really rich history, and kind of play into the different game packs that we've received just for fun. And I felt like if I really pictured each person living in this house, that it would help me to furnish it, because it takes me a long time to furnish builds like this. Of course, it's just like so big. These columns were a pain to put in. For some reason, it just would not work, so I had to try so many different things to get it in on that one side. Like I had to like try and take like the edging off, and then of course I tried to, that actually ended up working, the pushing it in and then pulling it back out. So thank goodness that worked. But a lot of this house was a little bit odd when I was building it. Like I just couldn't, I don't know, it just wasn't working out perfect, but I do end up figuring everything out in the end, so I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, 30 minutes long. Like this is probably one of, I don't know, no, it can't be the longest build on my channel. I don't think it's the longest, but definitely up there for sure. Yeah, I had a hard time with the pool area. I definitely wanted a pool, and I kind of wanted it to have like a infinity pool vibe, but in the end I didn't really end up continuing with that idea, and I just did what I did here, and I really like how it turned out. So sometimes I feel like there's so much that I want to do that I try to add too much into a build, and then I run out of space, whereas with this I was just kind of like, you know what, no, I don't want this to be the same as all my other builds, where like there has to be an office, there has to be a guest room, like all that kind of stuff. So I just kind of went with, I don't know, what the family would be like, and just kind of played off of that. And I do really enjoy how the build turned out, honestly. Like I'm really happy with it. And I like how the upper part has those black windows, whereas the bottom is more white, so it just makes it look a little bit more balanced, because of course with the shrubs down there, they are a darker color, so it just kind of blends in with everything. So those were kind of my thoughts with it. Yeah, I wanted this family to definitely be very wealthy. I had a hard time sticking between like whether I wanted it to be traditional or like more, I guess not really traditional in a sense, but antique. But I just kind of went with just expensive furniture, so anything that was kind of more expensive. I think one of the beds I used wasn't that expensive. But yeah, like in the kitchen I used all the most expensive appliances, and just kind of ran with that. I think you guys definitely will like the little vampire-esque section of this build. Originally it was just going to be like a wine cellar. I guess I could talk about this more when I get into it. Because of course there's like lots of like little finishing touches on the outside that I get in before I move into the basement. Yeah, so I'll talk about that more, I guess, when I get to it. I had a hard time deciding whether I wanted everything to be symmetrical, because of course the option is there, and I feel like with this style of home, most of it was symmetrical. So upstairs I changed it up a lot, and now I'm kind of kicking myself because I really, yeah, like I'm doing the upstairs right now. I wish I put a bathroom in the downstairs, but I just didn't get the bathroom in, so. But whatever, I do enjoy how the layout turns out upstairs a lot. I'm really happy with the spacing and everything. Downstairs is really open concept, I guess you could say, which I was going to make it not open concept, if that makes sense. I was just kind of going to close it off, because older homes used to be like more closed off, and have more hallways, but I was feeling doing open floor plan downstairs and more closed off upstairs, so where everyone would sleep. And I left the hallway upstairs really plain, you'll notice, when I go into furnishing, which isn't until like the second half of this video. But yeah, I am super, super happy with how this turned out, and I'm really glad that the downstairs turned out well too. It was originally supposed to just be like a under the house wine cellar. But yeah, I just kept going, and I was like, ooh, what if I put like a little lair, like if somebody wanted to have like a vampire family in here. So again, we will, I'm just so excited over it that I want to talk about it right now, but I'll wait until we get into that part to chat more about it. And I did decide to leave the back open just because the fence didn't look the greatest in the back, and then I put 2 mailboxes in just so that the symmetry was still there, because I feel like this family would definitely want that. Would definitely appreciate the symmetry. And then I put the bins over at the back area here, just out of sight, because of course I feel like they would also be the type of people to kind of hide that stuff. And now that I think about it, I think I even remembered to put like a garbage can in the kitchen, which I always tend to forget that. So I'm glad I remembered this time. Yeah, I really love how this house turned out. I wish I was good at making a family. Maybe someone can make me a family and then comment what they called it down below, and then I can download it. I would like to have it as like an 8-sim family, but really whatever family you think would fit in here, feel free to make it down below, or make it and then comment it down below that you did it, because I'd love to see what you guys create with it. I definitely am not good at building families, so I could use a lot of help in that department, that's for sure. Now, normally too, this is when I start working on the basement actually, but normally too, my voice tends to get like a raspy when I have to do half an hour long videos. Well, I guess I don't have to, but when I decide to. So I tried this stuff from this company called Sage, and it's like this eucalyptus throat spray. It's like eucalyptus and licorice, and I hate licorice, but this stuff works really well. So I feel like it's going to help, and it's not going to like make my voice hurt. So yeah, I think that would be good. I had a little bit of a hard time figuring out colors, so I just kind of kept playing around. It sometimes takes a long time because if you have a specific idea in mind with like what you want an area of your house to look like, it's going to translate differently to The Sims, so you have to try so many different things. Like I felt like that painted wall just didn't give the right look. Like I really wanted this to be like a wine cellar, like a really pretty looking wine cellar. Definitely a place where you would want to get your wine from. But yeah. And then I did throw in those bookshelves just to add interesting doorway into the vampire lair. I also really wanted to keep it, I don't know, like mysterious and like they accidentally found it. So definitely if you do download this and play it with your Sims, feel free to lock those doors for certain people. And yeah, because there's like an organ. This was going to be like, I had so many different ideas on how I wanted this place to look, and I just kept adding on because I was having so much fun. I don't even know how much this house ended up costing. Yeah, I honestly cannot remember, but it's up on the gallery. Maybe I'll write how much it's worth down below. Man, could you imagine doing like an actual $1 million home build in this game? It would take ages. Like I wouldn't say like I'm not good at furnishing. It just takes me a really long time because I'm really particular about things and I want the styles to look really good. I love the vampire stuff because I feel like it's really like Beauty and the Beast-esque. I don't know, that one little room that's kind of like separating all the rest of the rooms is just so pretty. I really, really enjoy that. So and then off to this room. Now this room was just supposed to encase the coffins, but I decided to put this extra little room off to the side, and it's actually going to be a graveyard down below. I don't know, I've never really seen that in a build before, so I kind of wanted to like see how it would play out. So I was going to originally put up lots of cobwebs, and then I went with these greenery, and I kept that picture in behind there as if like the shrubs just kind of grew over the existing photos in the house. And then added those lights, added a nice little candle holder. And this is when I throw the coffins in, because I do want to give the vibe that these people are deceased, the people that had adopted the guy that still lives there, and of course they willed the bank and everything to him, so he has quite a bit of money because of it, and I don't picture him being a bad guy at all. I actually picture this family being more of a good family. Like even the vampires, I feel like they were just good people in general. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the times people associate rich people with like being mean or I don't know, heartless, that kind of stuff. So this one I just wanted them to be really nice and kind and just a little bit different. Like kind of like the founders of the town, I guess you could say. I don't know, I feel like this town, especially compared to the other towns in this game, it just has such more rich history. Like I feel like Newcrest is like the new area of town where they just built it, and this one's a little bit more rich, of course, with the vampire town having the richest history, but I kind of wanted to translate it over to this, so this is, yeah, like kind of bring some of that into this, so it kind of flows together. Now I would like to build this family a cabin actually, out at the lake and make it just like a gorgeous like maybe new construction. I don't know what they call it in other countries, but new construction is like a type of house here, where it's just very fancy but really like just beautiful. So I do want to build them a very nice cabin out at the lakes. I think that would just be really fun, so hoping to do that as well. And working on the pool, I just wanted to keep it really simple. Of course, you still get a diving board and everything that you would normally that would come with a pool, basically. The kitchen, I'm really happy with how it turned out as well. I feel like sometimes I can struggle with getting the kitchens, especially when I want the symmetry on the outside with the windows. Then I tend to just, I don't know, it's hard because you don't want the back of the counters to be seen through the windows, but you know what? I don't, like, it's The Sims, right? So you can do basically whatever you want in this game, and that's what I like about it. So I just kind of decided that I was going to leave those windows in and not put smaller windows in. It's just something that I decided I wanted to do. So that's where I was going with that. And yeah, throwing in those overhead cabinets, and couldn't at first decide on what I wanted the walls to look like. So I just went with a simple tile oh my gosh, black splash, backsplash. Yeah, there we go. And I use that all over the entire room just to keep it together, because of course it is a really big open floor plan house. Well, not open floor plan house, because the house is actually kind of closed off, but open floor plan kitchen and everything. Well, kitchen and dining room. Yeah, I'm excited to see a family living in here in my town. I don't know, I think it will be really nice to get somebody moved in and see how they interact with the house and see what works and what doesn't. Because most of the time I do like to keep the move objects cheat off, so that I know that the house is going to work the way I want it to, whereas I know some people like to use it all the time, but yeah, like I mean, some of my builds I use it the whole time, and I feel like in the beginning I used to really get in the habit of doing that, but I feel like sometimes it can glitch out my computer. I don't know if it's just my computer or other people have this kind of same problem, but the cheat just like glitches out a bit on my computer, so I like to use it as minimally as I can. But it's not really needed in a big open build like this. Like, I feel like for smaller builds, you definitely need to use it to fit everything in. But for big ones like this, I feel like it's not necessarily necessary. Does that sound weird together? Probably. Yeah, I am currently actually not at home. I am on vacation right now. Just staying at like a bed and breakfast while I'm recording this. And yeah, I was kind of nervous to record it because there's so many like sounds that go on outside, but I've just kind of said like, basically forget, and I'm just going to record it anyway because I was really excited. I literally just finished this build and decided to record right away, which normally it takes me a couple days to record because I like to take a break between furnishing and everything, like my homes, and just yeah, like kind of relax in between recording, which I feel like is kind of a bad idea because then I get stuck in the rut where I don't know what to say to you guys. Whereas if I just recorded it right away, then of course I would know, basically know what to say because it's like fresh in my mind. Yeah, I'm just really happy with how this build turned out. I mean, usually the builds that I'm not happy with, I don't end up uploading. So I feel like generally the builds I upload to my channel, I am really happy with how they turn out. I'm never like mad or upset, definitely like not that. But yeah, I'm really happy. I love, there's this carpet that I use in this living room, and I ended up using it a lot in the build because it's one of those like white fuzzy carpets, which I actually have at my house, like that I live in currently, which maybe I'll do a build for you guys on that. Actually, that would be kind of fun. But yeah, I do have one of those carpets and I absolutely love it. I just have like the mini one, but I like that you can upsize them properly now. It's just amazing. It's probably one of my favorite things that you can do with The Sims, because sometimes you like the look of a carpet but the shape or the size isn't perfect, so now that you can upsize them, it just makes it so much easier to fit carpets in, and get the look that you want with the houses. So I kind of want to go like shopping today, and I want to go to a used furniture store that they have in the town I'm visiting. They have a couple of them and they're so inexpensive, and I really want to pick up some stuff, but I really don't need anything else for my house. But I probably will still end up going this room. Okay, this room that I'm working on right now, it just was not turning out right, and it was kind of frustrating, and I almost wanted to give up because it just really honestly wasn't turning out how I wanted it to or how I pictured it. But then in the end, it actually turns out really nice, and is like a really good foyer. So I do put some plants in there on pedestals, and yeah, I pretty much like how those turned out. So again, I'm happy with this part of the build. I keep like hitting my hand on this thing in this room. There's like a little chandelier in the room that I'm staying in. Sorry guys. But yeah, so yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I was gonna put that picture up there, but I don't even know if I end up leaving that. I think I end up changing it. Maybe not. Yeah, I do. Because I end up changing the fireplace to something smaller and a little bit more cozier feeling. I wish I put more fireplaces in this build too, because I feel like, I mean, not necessarily in Canada. In Canada, we mostly have like wood stoves, if anything, and really old, like, I wouldn't say turn of the century because that's more 2000. I'm thinking more like 50s and 60s, maybe even like 40s. Yeah, more so 40s and 50s, or even like 1910 or like the 20s. Houses built then, in Canada are like basically shacks, whereas in the States, those kind of houses are your estate homes, and I feel like those houses tend to have like fireplaces in every room, whereas in Canada we would have just had wood heat, so like little wood stoves throughout the house. So we don't really have that. We don't really have much of a rich history in Canada when it comes to that kind of stuff, because we're definitely newer than the States. Like we didn't like colonize before the States. So working on this area, I definitely wanted to bring those carpets in to tie in the other rooms of the house, just to give it a kind of, I don't know, like a more cohesive feel. I wanted to throw that little stand in, well, that little like cupboard, but I couldn't find a good place for it, so I ended up not using that, but I did use those two little cupboards, and then I put some, I guess, like dresser units. I don't know what I'm doing here. I was probably helping my dog on the bed, or helping a couple of the dogs at the house that I'm staying at on the bed. They have like the cutest, chubbiest little dogs, but yeah, they're like so adorable. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of just went and stayed really simple with this build, I guess you could say. I mean, not necessarily simple, but I don't know, I guess simpler. Upstairs, I didn't really do any decorating in the hallways. It was getting close to the end of the build, and I was kind of just tired of furnishing, especially when you furnish 8 bedrooms, or I guess 7 bedrooms. It just gets like really tiresome. I guess 8 bedrooms if you count the vampire's bedroom as well. So I was definitely getting a little bit tired at this point. So yeah, I'm really, you know what, here's something that I noticed. The beds in this game, they're very niche. Like, there's not many neutral beds. Like, there's super antique beds, or there's super modern beds, or there's, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess there is some neutral beds, but I wish we had more. We need, like, bedroom stuff packs or something like that, or like kitchen stuff packs. I'd love to see a kitchen stuff pack and a bedroom stuff pack. But I think the next one that's coming out, or I guess the closest one to this, is the one that we're helping create, or if you guys have voted or anything, they're actually on the Sims website doing votes to create a stuff pack, and it's been decided that is eco living. Unfortunately, I missed the second round of votes, which was picking the style of the pack, or yeah, I think it was like the style and feel. So I missed voting on that, but I did vote for the original ideas, and I think I voted for eco as, no, actually eco was my top pick because I've built a lot of eco homes in this, but I'm hoping if it is eco homes that they come out with more unique objects, like maybe like a rain shower, or I don't know, like maybe even, I don't know, I want to call them sunlight panels, but I know that's not the proper word for it. I always, like, it just always escapes me when I'm doing recordings, the words. But yeah, I'd like alternative energy sources, maybe like windmills. I'd like to see that kind of an eco pack. I know some people, like I saw a couple things on Twitter, I can't remember who mentioned this, but they want laundry stuff to come with the Go Living pack, but I think the only way that that would actually work, because laundry machines actually take up a lot of energy, is if they brought out a small portable washing machine, or you know, like a clothesline. A clothesline would actually be a really good idea. I think that would be really cute. It would be cool if they could do a clothesline that worked somewhere, like kind of like how the fences work. So you'd basically just like string it up and decide where the clothesline would hang. I don't really know how that would all work, like kind of like how you would build walls, but it would just be like a hanging clothesline. I don't know. I just think that would be kind of neat, but then again, they could really do anything, and it would work out quite well. I feel like too, when I do like this long of recording, there's just bound to be like a phone ringing. I don't know if you guys can hear the phone ringing right now, but like a phone ringing or something like that, just because it is such a long recording. Something that you might notice actually in this room too, I didn't actually paint the closet. I left the closet really plain and didn't do anything in it. I just kind of like threw the closet, the actual closet pieces, and don't guess there's not really another term for it. I put the closets in that space and left it unpainted. You'll see what I mean in a second anyway, if you guys don't get what I'm saying or where I'm going with this. Yeah, these rooms I didn't want to look the same, so they look a little bit dissimilar, but they do look similar to an extent. It is kind of awkward that you do enter the rooms from the bathroom, but there wasn't really any other option unless I cut out extra space, which I didn't want to do. I wanted all of the rooms to have as much space as possible, so that's where I was going with that. And then yeah, I basically just kind of like threw in those closets into that empty space and didn't end up painting the walls or anything, just left it really plain. So yeah, I don't really know if there's anything else. Oh, with the bathrooms, when I started doing the bathrooms, you'll notice I kept them all very similar again too. I don't know, I just wanted it to kind of like flow throughout the house, and I felt like a house like this would have very similar bathrooms. There wouldn't be a huge difference. Although a house this old, I feel like might not have as many bathrooms as I put in, because I even put a bathroom down in the vampire area of this house, which I guess I didn't really mention, but because I just kind of threw that one in quickly. Yeah, and I made sure every room had everything that a bedroom would need to function. Like, everyone even has a desk, which is pretty cool, even the smaller rooms. So, actually, no, that's not true. One of the rooms does not have a desk, but the person in that room can just go use another room's desk. I was going to put a toddler's bedroom in here just because there is so many bedrooms, but I felt like it just wasn't what I was going for with the family. I feel like this family is a little bit older. I feel like the kids are at least in their late teens or early 20s. I don't feel like any of the kids are young. If anything, maybe like 16. I guess that's still in their teens. Yeah, like basically 13 and up. I don't think anybody younger than that would live in this house. Especially, like, I don't think younger than 16, so that's kind of what I was going for. Of course, you guys can download this and kind of do whatever you want in that regards, decorate it however you want. I don't know if you guys have done this before, but I always like to drive around and just look at houses in my town, and basically the reason why I'm on vacation is my boyfriend is doing electrical for this new house that's being built down south. So that's kind of why we're in Kelowna visiting, is because he's doing the electrical on this like really big mansion. So we were driving up around there, and oh my gosh, some of the houses are so beautiful. Like, if you guys follow me on Snapchat, which feel free to add me on Snapchat, the links will be at the end of this video. Shameless little plug there, but I always post pictures and stuff of the houses that we come across, because some of them are just so wild and so pretty, but all of these houses are on cliffs and stuff, and it's just like insane, like just beautiful, like gorgeous houses, nice view. The only thing is, this place is like that we're visiting, Kelowna, is really hot. So in the summer it gets super warm. But I feel like if you lived up there, it would actually you get a really nice breeze. So you wouldn't be too hot all the time. So it might actually be nice living up kind of on the top of the hill. Like, these houses are like the tallest houses I have the hiccups. Or maybe that was just like a little burp or something. But these houses aren't like the tallest houses in Kelowna, that's what I mean. They're just like the highest up, so they're at the highest elevation. But yeah, they're definitely cool. I mean, I guess technically some houses in like Whistler not Whistler. I don't know why I'm saying Whistler. Big White is what I mean. Would technically be at a higher altitude. Big White is just like this ski resort that is by Kelowna. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of what I was thinking. Just finishing up another one of the bedrooms here. definitely kept it kind of plain and neutral. Like all these bedrooms are very, very neutral. Nothing too crazy. I did still think of like the people that would live in each individual bedroom, and I tried to keep that in mind so that I could, I don't know, just decide, get a good clear representation of what I wanted the rooms to look like, so they didn't look all the same, which I feel like sometimes I do get stuck doing, where I just build the same room over and over and just use like the same color palettes, or I just use the same furniture for a lot of my builds. I feel like it's a lot easier to do that with modern builds than it is traditional, just because there is a lot more furniture that you can use with modern builds. But I think my favorite bedroom is that dark wood one, with like the lotus flower candles. I think that is just absolutely amazing. We are finally getting down to the end of this video. I can't believe it's already been 30 minutes. It's been obviously so nice chatting to you guys. And I'm happy to be back. I'm hoping that I can get some more inspiration. Okay, this Lotus too, with the Lotus Lanterns, I was having such a hard time sizing those up and like getting them up on top of the door. Like everything was just like, I don't know, it just was being really glitchy. So that's when I realized that I still had the move objects cheat on. So yeah, I can't remember if I was gonna say anything else. Like everything started to glitch out at the end here, and it was just like the worst. And then I had to like quickly find my power cord because my computer was gonna die. So it's like, you know, I'm just gonna fire in these last few things and call it done. So if you guys do want to decorate the hallways more, definitely feel free. Send me some pictures on Twitter or yeah, anywhere really. I'll definitely check it out. Oh, the dogs are all barking. But yeah, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. We are jumping into the screenshots here. Yeah, I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye guys.